Hey guys, welcome to Sedona in Arizona. Arizona is a state that I had the opportunity to visit as a teenager with my parents, and I've always wanted to come back here. And Sedona in particular is the type of destination that I love these days. It has a lot to offer: adventure, travel, relaxation. It's a bit of a smaller place, but there's just so much to do, so I'm excited to share with you all of the things I get up to over the next several days. So without further ado, let's dive right into the Sedona, Arizona travel guide, where I'll be sharing some of the best things to do, where to eat, and where to stay. If you're planning a trip to Sedona, stick around, hit that subscribe button, and let's dive into this video. So guys, I'm staying here at the Sky Rock Sedona, so I thought I would give you a little bit of a room tour. Very comfortable rooms, but what I really want to show you is outside of the door and the absolutely stunning views we get from this property. It is just spectacular. So yeah guys, that was my brief room tour, but people obviously come here for the views. My goodness. This is not going to get old. This reminds me so much of Salta and Jujuy in Argentina, places that we love to visit. Just the rock formations, the weather, the dry heat, the beautiful scenery. It's right up my alley, so I can tell that I'm going to love being here. Another neat thing, guys, just before I head out here, is that when you arrive at the property, they give you a welcome rock, and mine says hope. I love that message. But what's fascinating about this is that you can either grab it yourself or you can close your eyes and pick it. So I did the latter. I closed my eyes, and yeah, I love that message. Hope. It is time to bang the gong. Guys, what better way to kick things off here in Sedona than to do a hike? So we are out here on the Adobe Jack Trail, and it is currently 5:36. We are trying to catch a beautiful sunset. So kicking things off with exercise, nature. So my initial impressions of the hike here on the trail so far is that things are started off easy. Just a beautiful trail, kind of flat, lots of epic viewpoints. And yeah, I think things will get a little bit more challenging as we move along, but so far so good. Something that I'm enjoying so far about being here in the Sedona Desert is that it's not like the typical desert that I'm used to. It's way more lush, there's a lot more greenery, and there's a lot of things thriving. Sometimes you think of the desert as being such a harsh climate, and so far I'm seeing some really interesting vegetation. And over here we have the Arizona cypress, one of the more distinct trees I have seen so far. Check that out. So here is where you choose between Adobe Jack and the Coyote Trail. And they have a great map here that shows you just how extensive the trail system is. So you've got everything from beginner to intermediate to advanced. So choose your own adventure. Oh, so we've been doing the trek now for a little while, and we are starting to gain a little bit of elevation. It's getting a little steeper. But what's been amazing so far is just the diversity in the trail. There are parts that are wide open, and then there's other parts where you're kind of surrounded by a canopy of trees and brush. And yeah, the diversity of the trail system is making for a very interesting hike so far. And here we have finally arrived at the absolute amazing lookout point where you get world-class views in all directions, and it's also the best place to watch sunset here in Sedona from what we've seen so far. So after that nice sunset hike, we ended up going to the Stagecoach for dinner. That place was phenomenal. Some of the best cornbread I've had in my whole life, to be honest. But this place specialized in meat, and specifically barbecued and smoked meat. So I ended up getting a sampler plate that had ribs, brisket, sausage. It just was like a carnivore's delight. It was so good. And then we followed that up with dessert. Really nice carrot cake. That was my favorite part. And also some nice welcoming drinks. I had a blackberry mojito. So overall, a really nice introduction to both Sedona in terms of the hike, see the layout of the city, and also a great introductory meal. So yeah, I'm beat. I'm ready to go to sleep, but overall a really nice start to the trip here.
And if anybody in the cold wants it. Okay. Because you have a great view behind you.
We do, yeah.
Yeah, same. That's why I thought this was the first or second one. Because we just tried to
So we are starting off day 2 with some exercise, which is really good because the meal last night was enormous. Such a nice feast. So we took a little drive in a minivan, and then we've been hiking for a bit, and here is going to be where we're going to start our yoga session this morning. Absolutely stunning views. So we're getting all set up here, and this is the view. Check that out. Just put down our yoga mats, and we're about to start any minute. So we just finished our sunrise yoga, and I honestly have to say that is the most peaceful yoga experience I've ever had in my entire life. It's something I've dabbled with a little bit over the years, but that was just the right combination of the weather, the location, the energy, and yeah, just having a great teacher. As we wrap it up, I'm feeling very relaxed and just a wonderful way to connect here on my first morning in Sedona. So highly recommend doing that. Wow. And I'm excited to see what we get up to next. One of the more interesting things to do in Sedona, especially if you're of the mindset that you want to slow down and experience the natural tranquility and scenery of the place, is to come and sense and experience the vortexes here. This is one of the more spiritual or relaxing things that you can do. And being led by Pete Sanders on a brief tour and listening to some of his explanations and meditations just on how to relax and live a more peaceful life has been it's been really eye-opening, and it's something that I'd like to learn a little bit more about. It's one of the reasons that I feel like I've connected with Sedona so far. And yeah, that was just an incredible experience. And for those who are just sort of more interested in the landscapes, it's also one of the best views I've had so far on my entire trip. To give you a bit of background information, many travelers come to Sedona to explore the destination's famous energy vortexes. These are considered conducive to meditation, self-introspection, and healing. While all of Sedona is considered a vortex, there are certain sites where the energy is considered more intense. So that's what the guided hike with Pete Sanders was all about. Oh my gosh, that lunch at Rascal was so delicious. Guys, it's like if you want a modern dining experience, that is the place to go. I got the Wagyu burger, which is basically the star dish. It was just incredibly delicious. Everything about the burger is homemade, and they also have some really cool add-ons as well. I added blue cheese, portobello mushrooms, and what was the other thing? Bacon, of course, big slices of bacon. So highly recommend that. Also, the fries were really good, but other people at our group got the salad and also the soup that looked really nice. And I can't leave without talking about the carrot cake too. We're on a bit of a carrot cake quest here. This is the second time having it in less than 24 hours. Next up, we're heading to Rovang Ceramics, where we're gonna get to have a hands-on experience, basically learning to make our own art. Now, this isn't something that I have any innate talent for, but I'm just gonna have fun getting my hands dirty, and I'll try to make something that maybe my little baby girl can enjoy. So I'm gonna keep it simple and just have fun.
What you want to do is you want to try to strive for like a 1/4 inch thickness, but you don't have to do that. You can make it thinner if you'd like.
Something that's kind of neat about this activity, doing it as an adult, is for some of us, we haven't been doing any type of artistic pursuits with our hands since we were kids. So I'm gonna view this as, turning back the clock, and also just as a reminder that you can be practicing artistic endeavors at any time of your life. I should also mention that there's a really nice shop here at the very entrance of the store. The workshop is in the back there, But once you're done, you can come and buy a nice souvenir. It's beautifully displayed out here, and so yeah, overall that was a really fun experience. I had fun, and I just found it, again, peaceful, relaxing. It fits in great with the theme of this trip. Well friends, we have covered quite extensively the scenic side of Sedona, so now we're checking out the more artistic part. Right now we're visiting a place called Tlaquepaque, which means the best of everything. And this is a place where you can find art shops, you can find restaurants, cute cafes, just about anything. And one of the most interesting things, in my opinion, is just how they've preserved nature here. There is a lot of beautiful sycamore trees, and building streets and shops have been designed around them, which is a really cool thing in my opinion. And because of the distinct architecture here, there's a lot of places that have archways and also staircases that lead up to really interesting shops and viewpoints. We're going to be able to check it out from a higher vantage point. And there's even more surprises here. There appears to be an underpass which leads down to a nature walk with some kind of a stream or a river. So I'm going down to check that out. Talk about being in the right place at the right time. I was able to spot some deer just before it got busy here with pedestrians and before they took off. So that was a special moment for me. Having now spent some time in Sedona, I can see how it can appeal to a very diverse and versatile set of travelers. It's not just the types of people who come here to experience nature, to experience scenery, to experience tranquility, or to be seeking inner peace. There's also plenty of cultural things to do for people who want to go shopping, who want to go to restaurants, who want to maybe not spend as much time on the hiking trails. A place like this is a perfect example of how the city caters to a very diverse group of travelers. Well, after all that walking around, our group has worked up an appetite, and we are planning to go to El Rincoń Restaurante Mexicano. I'm excited. What a great dinner. I ended up getting the chimichangas. I kind of ordered something different. Normally I get enchiladas, fajitas, stuff like that. I want to try something different. It was their specialty. So it came with jumbo shrimp and also a cream sauce. So that was delicious. I would highly recommend ordering that. And the portions are huge there, so you want to arrive hungry. I mean, that's a place that has a really diverse menu, so you'll want to study it and decide whatever tickles your fancy. And oh my gosh, the margaritas were so good too. That was another highlight. So highly recommend coming here, and had a really good meal overall. And then we also had dessert too. I mean, my goodness. So for those looking to volunteer who visit Sedona, there's a great organization that's called Volunteer Sedona, which gives you the opportunity to go out and interact with locals in a manner where you can go and do activities such as picking up trash along the creek and the riverside here. So that's exactly what we're doing today. It's really nice to be doing an activity like this to just be like helping out a bit, because you know, typically when you visit a place, a lot of people are nothing more than consumers. So it's nice to come to connect with nature, to connect with locals, and to help clean up a little bit. I'm having a lot of fun doing that today.
So hey, this is Spring with Volunteer Sedona. We are a non-for-profit based here in Sedona. We launched on September of 2024, so we're a new organization. And we offer an online portal for people that want to volunteer here, helping steward our land, the people, the animals. We have 42 nonprofits on board, and we're growing. And you can go to volunteersedona.com. If you're visiting, we have an area where you can sign up for your group, and we will provide a group concierge service for you. We'll set you up. And if you are an individual visitor or a family of 4, you can go to our event calendar and sign up for any volunteer opportunity there. They run about 2 to 3 hours, and they have no training needed. It's really fun. Thanks.
Well friends, next up we are visiting Page Springs Cellars, and we're doing a wine tasting and cellar tour. So I'm enjoying a rosé at the moment. Oh, that's really good. If you guys watch this channel, you know how much we like her wine, so this is awesome. Before doing the tasting and tour, we had lunch here, and I had one of the most creative pizzas of my entire life. So it was prosciutto and fig, and then on top of it, I ordered a hot drizzled honey, and it also came with walnuts and arugula. So It was just a fantastic meal. So you can come here and enjoy some really nice wines, or you can also come and have a bite to eat as well. So next up, we're trying the Grenache. I've had a few already. It's been a really nice tasting. So I'm just taking a walk through the vineyard to finish things off here. But I just thought I'd let you know that Sedona has some really good wine tourism just, 15-30 minutes away from the city center. So if you're thinking of coming here and you want to enjoy the relaxed pace of having some wine, some good food, and also touring a property, you certainly can do so. So time for a little show and tell. Now I'm back at the hotel, but I enjoyed the last wine tasting so much, which I didn't film, that I had to buy a bottle. Check this out. Really cool label. This is Page Spring Cellars Vino del Barrio Rojo. It's a blended wine from 2023. And what I like so much about it is that normally when you get a blended wine, you might have like 3 different varieties, but this one has 6. 32% Shiraz, 23% Merlot, 17% Barbera, something I've never had, 12% Malbec, and then 2 more, including Grenache. So that's crazy, but I really enjoyed the taste. So this is going to be a souvenir I bring home back to Canada. Really enjoyed the experience at Page Spring Cellars. Excellent wines, and my favorite being their potent red. As you've already seen, Sedona's food scene was a real highlight. I had dinner at Mole Mexican Kitchen and got the mole con pollo asado for my main. They also have a nice variety of cocktails if you're looking for something fun. On my last morning in Sedona, I had just enough time to tackle one more hike. I started off on the Cathedral Rock Trail, which also splits into the Templeton Trail. I would say these are 2 good options depending on whether you're looking for something more adventurous or easy. The Cathedral Rock Trail is a bit more challenging and does involve some scrambling, so be prepared to be on your hands and knees. Meanwhile, the Templeton Trail is a bit more moderate yet rewards you with beautiful views. The choice is yours. Well friends, all good things come to an end. I honestly had a fantastic time here in Sedona. This is a place that I really connected with. At this stage in my life, I like to go to smaller places, places that have scenery, where there's tranquility, where there's a lot of slow travel opportunities, not just kind of racing from one attraction to the next. This is the type of destination where you want to come and enjoy adventure travel. You'll also enjoy relaxing. There's just so much to do. There's culture, there's great food, there's opportunities to volunteer, there's opportunities to do hands-on activities where you can be making ceramics. This is also a place that you might want to just come to relax. Its nickname here is Slowdona because people come here to slow down. They want to connect with the place. They want to practice meditating or potentially going out and doing yoga. All those opportunities exist here, and I only had a chance to visit for several days, but I'm already thinking I've got to find a way to come back here in the future. I just really connected with the place. I felt at peace and at ease, and this is the type of destination that I absolutely love at this point in my life. This is it used to be when I was younger, it was all about going to the big cities and just kind of whipping around and doing as much as I can. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It really showed a lot of different types of activities you can do when you come to Sedona, and yeah, I'll hopefully be back again in the future. Ta-ta for now.